Let me speak for God's sake.
You can
You
speak
are
now.
gaslighting. Which irresponsibility of which administration? Are we going to use your grandparents' money to pay for subsidy?
Hey, my people, welcome back. Rufai Osene has been vindicated. Guys, I hope you guys know who this man is. He had a problem with Rufai the last time he came to Arise Television for interview, where everyone was kind of blaming Rufai, that Rufai disrespected him. Even Yolodoshe came out and blamed Rufai. So this is the same man. He's back on Arise Television. My people, So last time, this Professor Yusuf came and they had an interview, and he said the state of Nigeria, how everything is falling apart. So that's why this man came back. He is a chairman of Tinubu's media support group to defend Tinubu or to reply to that interview. But my people, all the question they asked this man could not even address it. He was there shouting. He was there gaslighting. He was there saying all sorts of things. My people, make I allow you guys to just watch this interview. You'll be surprised. Yes.
Sure that you followed yesterday's interview with Professor Yusuf. And of course, the issues that he described were basically to assess the state of the nation. And as we read out in the intro, he put the blame squarely on the lap of the president and his team. And then, to use the street parlance, a lot of people will say, where's the lie? What are your thoughts? And of course, you have the right of reply. What are your thoughts on what he said? And do you think that he went overboard, or you just basically would like to either disagree or put things in proper perspective?
Thank you. Professor Usman Yusuf came on your station yesterday to basically make incitement to propagate disunity and basically make a mockery of himself. That is what he did at his age, which is just too shameful. Now, what is the present situation in Nigeria? We have citizens who are going through serious challenges. And our problem is not even lack of food. We don't. Even you, Stephen, should know that we do not have lack of food. We're not lacking food in this country. It is the money to buy the food.
Professor Yusuf said the same thing yesterday.
Then
he said the same thing yesterday.
You said?
I said, Prof said the same thing yesterday.
Seriously.
But you have to put things in perspective so that you know precisely what you are responding to.
Yes, excuse me. You gave him opportunity to gaslight, to basically, he was even on the verge of calling for insurrection.
Sorry,
that's what he was doing, and I was so ashamed of.
In what way did he gaslight?
He was. Excuse me. He was totally gaslighting.
In what way?
He was totally gaslighting.
What did he say was gaslighting?
He was talking. Beautiful. He was talking about northern Nigeria, southern Nigeria, northern leaders. This as if he's the spokesman of the Sultan. He actually said that President Tinubu's policies have caused discomfort for everyone across the country and not just only in the north. And that if northern clerics or traditional rulers are coming out to speak about the crisis that they face, that they are the first line of defense for his people. Excuse me, please. He is not the
Will you let me speak? Yes. This is my right of reply. Excuse me, I personally called Prince Unduka Obaigbena for this right of reply. If you will let me speak, for God's sake. Okay? Now, he came here, he claimed to be speaking for northern traditional rulers. He is not the spokesman of northern traditional rulers. His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, is my friend. I have been to his house. I have eaten food with the Sultan. He's not the spokesman of the Sultan, for God's sake. He just comes here. This is someone who was sacked from his job. Then he comes here, he starts trying to pitch the North against the South. And you gave him a platform. And you know the kind of character he is. A cantankerous character. That's who he is. That's what Professor Yusuf is. Then he keeps saying, not. Not what? We are one Nigeria, for God's sake. We are all in this together. Now you have a governor in Niger State who says food should not move down south. Oh, that is the game we are going to play in this country. Then what does my own governor, Sheriff Oboreweri do? He says, does he say let no crude oil flow to Dangote refinery in Lagos? Then what does Jide Sanwo-Olu do? He says no tanker of oil should move to Niger State. Are we not one country, for God's sake? Let nobody in this country threaten another person. Did you hear me? Nobody should threaten. Nobody has a monopoly of anything. We are one country. Okay, your guest yesterday is a most excuse me. Your guest yesterday was behaving most irresponsibly. He's not the spokesman. This Sultan of Sokoto is my friend. My cousin, Air Vice Marshal Terry Okorodudu, introduced me to him. Okay? He's not the spokesman of the Sultan. He's not the spokesman of the Emir of Kano. He's on his own. And you gave him the opportunity to keep gaslighting yesterday. You did not push back on him.
If I can come
and
here,
he was talking utter rubbish.
Okay, Mr. Onakwasa, we need to realize that I'm going to take a quote from our guest yesterday who said leaders have forfeited the right to make any excuses. Now, you are a prominent public affairs analyst and you're a legal expert closely associated with the Tinubu Media Support Group. What are your reflections on Professor Usman Yusuf's critique of the current administration's handling of Nigeria's economic challenges, especially speaking on the recklessness of the government as he's described? An example he gave being the sudden removal of fuel subsidy I'm about to tell you that. Being the fuel subsidy removal without looking at the balance sheet of the nation or consulting with a cabinet that was barely there. The body language looks like this administration does not have a plan.
Please.
How do you refute that? We're seeing the effects. I'm just asking you a question, Mr. Onakwasa.
You are gaslighting. Yes, I have heard your question. Can you let me speak, for God's sake?
You can speak.
You are now gaslighting. Which irresponsibility of which administration? Are we going to use your grandparents' money to pay for subsidy? No, they did not see the 8 years of waste, of printing of money, of borrowing money to pay for what? To put money in their own pockets. It is today we want to do what? Do which protest? Listen to me. All these things won't work. Do you know the kind of people that support this government? It's people who love truth, who love this country. Okay? People who love the truth and who genuinely love this country. Not rent seekers. Not thieves. Who want to keep putting subsidy money in their pockets. All right? There was no money to pay subsidy. It was 8 years of grotesque irresponsibility. Okay? Now, you gave this guy more than an hour yesterday to start gaslighting. He was on the verge of insurrection, of treason.
That's not correct, Mr. Onopasa. We didn't give him more than 1 hour. Mr. Onopasa, listen.
Correct, please.
Listen, let's calm down so that we can hear each other better. We didn't give him more than 1 hour. We gave him a slot that was barely 30 minutes. I mean, he made his point. Why don't you just respond to the issues that he raised rather than claiming that everybody is gaslighting?
He did not make any point. I am responding to the point. If you will let me.
Right.
If you will let me respond, please.
All right, Mr. Onopasa.
If you will let me respond, please.
All right, Mr. Onopasa.
Now,
let us just go to the details here.
We are one country.
Can we go to the details here, Mr. Onopasa? How are you? Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, my adorable Oji.
All right, let's just go to the details here. There were a lot of accusations. First of all, Professor Yusuf Usman accused President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of nepotism after he appointed his son-in-law as the head of Federal Housing Authority. He also talked about how this administration has pushed more Nigerians into multi-dimensional poverty because of some of his policies. I'd like for you to respond to those two.
Did he?
Let me just land. My main question.
I am not.
My main question, because it is sure, it is your right of reply, and I'd like for you to respond to those accusations. That's number one. Number two.
So I am.
Sure. Number two.
I am responding. Will you let me respond?
Go ahead.
I will not dance to your tune.
No problem. On those two accusations.
God, you will have to give me some respect.
Sure, sir. On those two accusations.
Now, let us. It's a conversation, for God's sake.
Absolutely.
You will let me speak.
Go ahead, sir. Go
My
ahead.
adorable daughter, please let me speak.
Go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
I adore you. Let me speak. Now, which nepotism is he talking about? Is it the nepotism we saw the last 8 years? He wants to protest what? What is anybody threatening in this country? Who? Threatening who? That you will stop food from coming from north to south? Then the people from south should stop what they produce to go to the north? Do we still have a country? What is wrong with people in this country? Who is threatening who? Seriously. We have one country. Listen, I think Steve, my brother Steve and Yorande will understand this better. I will mention one word. One nation, one destiny. It was the mantra during the era of Shehu Shagari. If nobody there understands that, Steve most certainly will understand it.
I do understand it. Yes, one nation.
Let's respect each other. Nobody should threaten another person in this country.
Okay.
We are all in this together.
All right, Mr.
We have a president in this country. Our president means well. Please let me speak. Our president means well. He is working hard to put things together. Do you even know the biggest problem we had the last 8 years? When all these people, their voices were silent. The problem was the emasculation of President Tinubu from the... If President Tinubu's touch was in the government this last 8 years, we will not be where we are today.
All right. Okay.
We are trying to get out of a difficult situation. Then somebody comes on television and starts threatening people that he will do what? Governor Bago says he wants to stop food moving from Niger State. Should I stop fuel from moving from Delta State to his state? What an insult.
All right.
We are one country. Let us rest. Listen, nobody is afraid of anybody.
Okay.
Let nobody threaten anybody in this country. Please.
All right.
What an insult.
Sure.
Rubbish.
All right, Mr. Anakwasa, you've talked about threat a lot. But I asked a question, and it was just a question about nepotism, which you have not answered yet. But I'll skip that. I'll skip that question.
I said, is the nepotism? Mm-hmm. No, is the nepotism. Whatever nepotism is embellishing, is it worse than the nepotism of the last 8 years? This is what is happening.
All right. The idea of Nigeria being
your candidate as
the idea of Nigeria being plunged into multi-dimensional poverty was one of his main issue on the program yesterday. But I'd like for you.
Nigeria.
Well, you've answered some of those questions.
Can I answer you?
No.
I've heard your question.
You will.
Can I answer it now?
I gave you 5 minutes to respond, but you haven't responded. But let me ask you this last question. What do you make?
I want to respond to the question.
Sure.
No, I insist on responding to the question.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Is it Bola Tinubu that caused beautiful? Is it Bola Tinubu that caused multi-dimensional poverty in Nigeria? How? We are Christians. Today is Sunday, for God's sake. Let us fear God. How did Bola Tinubu cause a single problem in this country? How? 8 years? You were there?
Well, he talked about the
policies. How many people were lifted out of poverty? It's Bola Tinubu's fault. Bola Tinubu is not even 1 year in power.
Okay, let's
people are complaining.
Mr. Onokwasa, please can I ask you a question? Because you said what problems has he caused. So let's talk about some of the problems we're facing today that we did not face before he was sworn in on the 29th of May 2023. Can we talk about some of the exact problems we're facing? We have new inflation figures for monetary inflation. The Naira has lost its value at a faster rate than under President. You did not answer OG's previous question, which was about nepotism.
Giwa Osagi.
Yes.
Giwa Osagi.
Yes, sir.
I will answer the first question before this your question.
About nepotism specifically. No, she asked about nepotism specifically.
We are no longer having a conversation if you will not allow me answer the question. You can't dictate to me.
I'm just asking if you are going to speak on nepotism in government.
Which nepotism? Is it the Bola Tinubu that walked his own son out of federal executive meeting that you're accusing of nepotism?
Well, the federal executive meeting has people who...
What? Yes.
There's legal requirements for who can be on the Federal Executive Council meetings, right? This is a very important meeting, and nobody's...
Then what are you saying?
We're talking about the appointment of his son-in-law to be in charge of the Federal Housing Commission. My apologies.
No, he is not qualified. Are you more qualified than him? What do you mean by that? What's nepotism? Listen to me. Nobody. Listen. I'm not going to dance to this gaslighting you are trying to do, my adorable daughter. Nobody should threaten anybody in this country. We are one country. Do you know the kind of people that support Bola Tinubu? Let nobody think that he can intimidate anybody. Not in this country. The people who support Bola Tinubu, we support him from the bottom of our heart. And we support him because we believe that this country is in a precarious state. And this is the kind of man we need to be our... People there's this narrative out there that people follow. Do I look like Daniel Bala? We don't collect money from Bola Tinubu. We spend our money on Bola Tinubu. If you don't know.
All right. So, Mr. Onokwasa.
I've said it on television.
May I come in now, if you don't mind, Mr. Onokwasa? All right. Can I come in now? Just 2 quick questions.
Go.
So that you do not get agitated in any way. It's a conversation, just like you said. You've referred to the case. Yes.
Let me be able to respond. That's all I'm asking.
No problem. I'll just ask you 2 quick questions and then you have the floor to respond. First is to respond on the issue of Governor Bago of Niger State, who is mounting food blockade, discouraging food, in fact, ordering that food should not come down south. You made reference to it, but then who is to act?
It's breaking the law.
Exactly. So who is to act? I said, who is to act? Your man, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the president of the country. We have not had any response from any agency of government on what Governor Bago has done. That's one. Secondly, Mr. Anakwasa, you referred to the case of subsidy, and that subsidy had to go. Correct, subsidy had to go. But then, are you aware that we are now paying probably double on subsidy than what the president claimed that he cancelled, that he removed by May 29? Are you able to confirm that if indeed the landing cost of petrol as at today is more than it's more than 1,000? Just one moment. If it's more than 1,000 now, it only means that we are paying much more on subsidy than we were paying before May 29.
Yeah. Anybody who has evidence that subsidy is being paid is quite free to present such evidence. What I can tell you for sure is that President Tinubu has been using creative means to stabilize the supply of fuel to Nigerians, as he's equally using creative means to bring down prices, which the citizens of this country will see soon. As for Governor Bago, I don't know who he think he is, that he can disrupt trade, he can violate freedom of movement, he can violate freedom of commerce, he can violate freedom of contract. No problem. If he thinks that is what he's entitled to do, he will know that even a governor with immunity is not above the law. Okay? Now, we are patriots. Okay? And it's not a tit for tat. We are one nation, one country, one destiny. All right? Nobody has the right to block anything from being transported across Nigeria. Because if we do that, we will no longer have a country. Let's respect each other. And let nobody tell us about protest. Protest for what? The protest, we did not protest for 8 years. 8 years of indolence.
Governor Bago, by the way, you know, is a member of your party, is a member of APC. I wonder why.
Chai, my people. These APC people, they are so shameless. Like, why are they even blaming their own party? Is Buhari not APC member? Is it not APC that be running Nigeria since 8 years? Like, what are they saying? What are they talking about? They are now blaming their own party. Assuming that it was another party, that be said by now in Nigeria for catch fire. My people, I hope you guys saw how this interview went. This man could not address any single question they asked him. Rather, he was there defending, with shouting, with gaslighting. Before, you guys said that Rufai was so disrespectful. You guys have seen it now, that everything is from this man. This man is a character himself. He even implicated Daniel Baola, said that they are not like him that collect money from Tinubu. Chai! He said that whatever that is happening right now, the hardship suffering Nigerians are facing right now, is not Tinubu's fault. Knowing very well that since Tinubu entered into office, all the policies that Tinubu have been making, none of them have been benefiting Nigeria. Tinubu said that he removed fuel subsidy. My people, the money Tinubu and his camp is realizing from fuel subsidy, what are they doing with it? Right now, he's blaming the interviewer. Say, is it your grandfather that's going to bring money for the fuel subsidy? Like, this man is so arrogant, honestly. My people, so make I bring this update to you guys. Please leave your thought in the comment section. This Tinubu and his member, they will not buy Nigerians, honestly. Chai!